Hi and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be talking about which cities I traveled to while I was living in Japan. Again, I'm going to keep it to cities within Japan because I did do a little bit of international traveling while I was in Japan. So again, I've got my little list, so here we go. Starting with the first three places that I had visited, one of which I ended up living in when I first traveled to Japan prior to moving there. Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. Then there were places like Hikone, Nara, Nagahama, Kobe, Himeji, Wakayama, Fuji, or the Mount Fuji area, Otsu, Uji, Mino, and Iga-Ueno. And of course there were offshoots of areas that I would go to, like Kishiwara, which is considered part of the Kansai Osaka area, although some could argue it could be, its own little city or an area in its own right. So these were all the places I had gone to, and I'll answer a second question, which of these did you like most? And unlike my prior video talking about cities in China, this one's hands down easy for me to answer: Kyoto. And I'm sure that's what a lot of expats say who visit Japan, that they love Kyoto. But I understand, I get it. It's just, when people go to Japan, they want to see that old style of Japan. They want to see those narrow streets, those wooden buildings. They don't want to see necessarily see skyscrapers and all the modern stuff. The Kyoto Tower is probably the most modern place, and a few of the buildings next to it are probably the most modern things you're going to see in Kyoto. And even then, from what I've heard, a lot of locals, were against the building of that. They wanted to keep it old style. So even the locals wanted to keep the old look of Kyoto. Yes, the insides are modern. Yes, they've got modern plumbing and all these kind of things. But there's a charm to it. It's just a quiet, calming effect when you're walking through these streets and you're imagining, the historical periods in Japan of the shoguns and emperors and all this, and what it must have been like there. And they do a pretty good job of incorporating the modern and, with the ancient and older stuff. So if you're the type of person who wants to, have really expensive meals, really expensive Western meals, they got it. You want to go and have, go into nice shopping malls, they got them. You want to have, some traditional food that has been around for hundreds of years, they got it too. You want to have, unusual food experiences like Fire Ramen, which I highly recommend. Really cool. They got it too. Plus the shrines and temples and all the kind of traditional stuff that you come to associate Japan with. Kyoto has it. And despite me leaving Japan, and despite some of the negative things I've talked about with Japan and why I left, if I was ever to move back, Kyoto would definitely be a city I would consider going to, because I just loved the city. It was awesome. I'd even move into a place that had the old style stuff very easily. So that concludes this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.